Oh, that's it.
Okay, I'm preparing to go live now.
Okay.
I should show on the screen with everybody's on.
Well, you don't see people, are they watching from that bit? Or is it from? Okay. Welcome everyone to a meeting of the Chief Officer Appointments Committee on this day, Thursday, 28th September. We've commenced at 8 minutes past 2, albeit the published agenda said 2 o'clock. So apologies to officer colleagues and to member colleagues that were here on time. And please be advised that we are live streaming this session via New Council's YouTube platform. So for those members of the press and public that are watching, welcome. Now that we've opened on the basis of being core with members, and I have with me in the room, in addition to officers, Councillor James Asser and Councillor Shirley Fortune, we have been encountering some technical issues with regards to volume, as we have some officers also joining us online. So I'm going to be proposing that we pause on the meeting and we adjourn for a short period of no more than 15 minutes to move to another room where the technical equipment is known to be working because it was used this morning. Are members of the Chief Officer Appointments Committee agreeable to that? Yes, you are. Great, that's agreed. So, Shirley, we're going to now be able to leave the notice that says we're adjourning, yes, and then we can move to another room. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Are you able to get the facility to check this form while I'm doing it? Is there a speaker issue? I think it's a connection to this big screen, isn't it? Showing that this is showing up. Okay, Conrad, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello. I'll go on mute until I'm needed, though. Good to see you all.
Thank you.
It's pretty loud now.
Okay, is that too loud?
Let's just live with it. Don't stop feeling
It's going to be a children's one.
I'm so sorry. Okay, right, okay. Welcome back, colleagues, and welcome back to members of the public and members of the press that may be watching the commencement of the meeting of the Chief Officer Appointments Committee. And just by way of recapping, those members of the public or media that have joined over the past 5 to 10 minutes, you will have seen the screen saying that the committee is in adjournment. We had to just move on because we had a few technical issues which we've now resolved. Right, so this is a meeting of Newham Council's Chief Officer Appointments Committee. In terms of the agenda, we're going to be going through some standard items, which is apologies for absence, declarations of interest, and then we're going to be going into the substantive subject matter of today's meeting, which is the establishment of appointment subcommittees. And these are 4 that we have to establish if we choose to, and I'll come to that point shortly. It's for the recruitment processes of Newham Council's permanent chief executive, corporate director of environment and sustainable transport, director of climate action, and assistant chief executive digital. So let's jump straight into the proceedings. Can I firstly just receive any formal apologies for absence that we have received via clerk to the committee?
Not received, Chair.
Okay, and then just to advise, I personally received a apology from Councillor Luke Charters. He's not able to attend this afternoon's meeting with regret, but we are quorate. Yeah, great. Now, colleagues, I just want to draw your attention to the declarations of interest, agenda item 4, covering pages 5 to 6. This is a standard, albeit not unimportant document, which is a picture of all the vendors that we receive when we're participating in meetings of the public. Are there any declarations of interest as it pertains to matters that we're going to be considering today? No. Right, that's no for the record from all of us. And I shall be, before I jump onto agenda item 3, can we just quickly go round so members of the public that may well be watching know who we all are. Over to you first.
I'm Councillor James Astor, I'm the Deputy Mayor.
I'm Mayor Roxana Fiaz. Councillor Charlene King.
Councillor Zulfikar Ali, Cabinet for Finance and Resources.
Okay, who else?
Judy Harris, interim HR and OD Director.
Brilliant.
Hamid Malik, apprentice for Newham Council.
Welcome, our apprentice for Newham Council, one of many.
I'm Shirley Fortune, Democratic Services, I'm the clerk.
To this committee. Okay, brilliant. Now, colleagues, we're going to need to go into a exclusion of press and public session, because one of the things that we're going to be considering is the membership for each of the committees that we're going to need to establish. However, I am going to be making a proposal with regards to the chief executive appointment subcommittee suggestion, that it's not a subcommittee, that it is a committee as it currently stands, because the individuals that have been assigned membership of this committee have been assigned in anticipation of these types of high level appointments. Now, that doesn't preclude, as part of the process, candidates that put themselves forward for the role of permanent chief executive to be engaged with as part of our stakeholder exercise, and that could include other councillors from some principal portfolio areas, the chair of open scrutiny, etc., etc. But it probably does make sense for us to consider whether, outside of the existing substitute members, we need any more. I personally don't think we do, because we've got the 5 substantive members and 2 substitute members in any case. And if everyone is happy with my proposal, but for the purposes of chief executive, we just we confirm that it's the members of the actual chief officer appointment committee, and substitutes as already listed are called in if required.
Agreed.
Are we all happy with that?
A question, we'll come on to that, because I
Okay.
think it might be dealt with by what else you said.
Okay, right. So before we confirm, what's your question?
It was just given that it is the chief executive and obviously.
Yeah.
It is based on the executive. It's just in terms of giving the breadth of the chief executive role around things like chair of scrutiny and that kind of backbench from people who are kind of other positions, the whole council from count.
Yeah, so what I propose is that, in line with other chief executive recruitment processes, we integrate that into the wider stakeholder engagement exercise, and there's an opportunity for whoever are the shortlisted candidates to meet cohorts, which would of individuals, and that would include, partners representative of our anchor institutions and other key strategic stakeholders in the borough, so police representative, fire brigade, etc., as well as significant businesses here, possibly investors, but also just in terms of the broader range of member interaction that a chief executive will need, likely the chair of open scrutiny. Now, one question, albeit chief executive appointment comes under the purview of this committee, which is chaired by the mayor and then has membership of members of the executive in the context of majority minority group context, whether or not there needs to be any interface with. I would say no, only because it's an organisational appointment, it's not a one, and it's not for any minority group, whatever size, to have a determination. So I just want to put that on the record. Right. So is that? Yeah. So can I now ask that the proposal for the appointment, that the current chief officer appointment committee members are, it's the chief appointment officer committee that actually leads on, engages on the process of the chief executive. Yeah, we're all agreed. Brilliant. And just by way of concluding that section before we move on, wanted to advise that with regards to the chief executive and head of paid service, you'll note the detail pages 7 through to pages, sorry, not 7, big page number 7 through to big page number 17. Right, so it provides an overview of the recruitment arrangements and timetable, the draft role profile. Now, this is draft because I've just recently gone through the process of signing it off, and I was waiting for Marek, the recruitment company, to come back to just confirm that those changes have been made, and I understand that they have.
That's right.
Yeah. So note the external recruitment agency that have been commissioned to undertake this, and in essence, following today's meeting, the recruitment process of the chief executive, it's anticipated that that goes live on Monday. I don't think we're going to be getting it live tomorrow,
No.
but we're getting everything lined up to go live on Monday. And going live will mean the website and associated final job description, timetable, etc. will be published, and I will be sending a note out to all members of staff just to let them know. And then there's going to be associated placement of adverts, and there's been, as you would expect from any recruitment process over recent months, engagement in the market just to see who's available. I'll come to you in a moment, Sulfika, and please note that once this formal process concludes and the Chief Officer Appointment Committee makes a determination, if it indeed does, let's hope it does, but there's a possibility it may not, any recommendation of the Chief Officer Appointment Committee is then submitted and brought to full council for final approval. And then the other thing, just to advise and reassure, the issues relating to diversity has been a prominent feature in the discussions with the recruitment agency, alongside all the outreach work and sort of market exploration, as it were, as will be the way in which this campaign is run. So, any questions on that note?
Well, the question was more about the recruitment pack. These are very senior positions here going out. I just wonder whether we do have a marketing plan, etc. A couple of kind of site we create.
Yeah, so all of that is in hand, and that's all going live on Monday for the purposes of the chief executive. With regards to the other posts, there are job descriptions that have been developed. They just need to be signed, final review process and sign off, and then there will be the corresponding development of the relevant campaigns for each of these, because these are actually quite, all of them are significant. Some of them are quite niche. So the assistant chief executive digital, the chief digital officer is quite a niche one, and that requires its own approach, a specific nuanced approach. Right, I'm going to suggest that we move on. So you've noted that for the purposes of the chief executive. Now, I'm also going to just draw your attention to the overview of Corporate Director of Environment and Sustainable Transport, Director of Climate Action, and the Assistant Chief Executive Digital. You'll note corresponding sort of role descriptions as it pertains to environment and sustainable transport, which hasn't changed presently from the current role, albeit I would like to have a conversation with the Chief Executive and you, James, if we're going to be recruiting a new Corporate Director of Environment and Sustainable Transport. Is there not scope for us to actually use it as an opportunity to review job role and the requirement, given the changes that we've made? Yeah. And then with the Director of Climate Action, similarly, aside from this being published, I haven't had an opportunity to really delve into it. So I would say that these job descriptions, take them as obviously read, but with some finessing in order to respond to your point, making sure that we're landing these optimally effectively in order to encourage, the best candidates to apply. On that note, I'm going to suggest that we now evoke the Local Government Act 1972 as amended by the Local Government Access to Information Act 1985 to exclude press and public. And the reason why we're needing to do this is because we're going to be having a discussion with regards to the membership of each of these subcommittees or the Chief Officer Committee if it's suggested that members of the existing committee take in full considering I'm thinking, but anyway, right, I'm going to exclude. Okay, and then we'll reconvene once we're done. Now, James, you have to leave. What time do you have to get into town?
I can do it online if we need. This is more important, so I can do it online.
Okay. I'm just going to go mute on. No, not on yours. You don't need to touch your one. If you keep yourself muted, because it's this one, isn't it? Oh, no, you do need to do your one. Listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, welcome back everyone, and welcome back to members of the public and press that may well be watching. And I'm not sure if Conrad's in, albeit I think he had to step out. Right, okay, so we've arrived at some conclusions relating to the remaining appointments subcommittees that we're establishing, and I'll go through them one by one. So the first one is 3B, establishment of an appointment subcommittee for the post of Corporate Director of Environment and Sustainable Transport, as set out pages 19 to 36. Now for this one, the following members are being proposed. Chair of this subcommittee is Councillor James Ather, with the following members. Councillor Carly Lee Parkway, Councillor John Whitworth, Councillor Tony Wilson, Councillor Tony McColmont, Councillor Rachel Tripp, and then the reserve for this subcommittee is Councillor Miraj Patel. Then the next one is the establishment of an appointment subcommittee for the post of Director of Climate Action. This is 3C. So the chair, Mayor Roxana Fiaz, with the following members: Councillor John Whitworth, Councillor Zulfikar Ali, Councillor Charlene McLean, Councillor Mumtaz Khan, and Councillor Daniel Lee Parkway, with reserves Councillor Susan Masters and Councillor John Morris. And then the final one is the establishment of an appointment subcommittee for the post of Assistant Chief Executive, which is the the Chief Digital Officer. That's 3D. And the membership comprises of the following members: Chair, Mayor Roxana Fiaz, Councillor Alma Verdi, Councillor Zulfikar Ali, Councillor Charlene McLean, Councillor Sabia Kamali, and then the reserves are Councillor Lewis Godfrey and Councillor Arik Chowdhury.
Sorry, Councillor Charter as well.
Oh, sorry, and Councillor Luke Charters for the digital. So that's 6 members in total and 2 reserves.
I'm sorry, Mayor, can I just confirm the reserves again?
Yeah.
Godfrey and Charlton.
Sorry, right. So for the subcommittee membership, it's Mayor RF, Councillor Alma Verdi, Councillor Zulfikar Ali, Councillor Charlene McLean, Councillor Sabia Kamali, and Councillor Luke Charters. And then reserves are Councillor Lewis Godfrey and Councillor Arik Chowdhury, in that order. Right, okay. Has that all been noted? And just to confirm to you as clerk to the committee and in public that I've invited all members of the Chief Officer Appointment Committee to confirm the proposed membership of each of the subcommittees as I set out to Shirley. Is that all agreed?
Great.
Agreed. Thank you very much. And now, colleagues, we're going to we're at the end of the meeting, and I just wanted to thank you for your time and consideration, and also for officers with regards to their assistance in this process. And I trust you have found that informative and useful, members of the public or press that are watching. Thank you very much.